the messaging right now is almost confusing. If you've not been paying attention, this stuff is going to sweep you away like the wind. I think it's propaganda. I'll call it Xbox tax. At the same time, you'll see people come on the Video Game Fights Coach channel in the comment section wanting to maybe derail the conversation. They'll say something like, oh, you're basically, shilling for a corporation or simping for Microsoft and trashing PlayStation. So I ask them one of two questions. Can you tell me what I said in this video that trashed PlayStation? Or can you tell me what I said that could have been biased, irrational, or whatnot that's basically simping for Xbox? Not a single one of them can tell me anything other than, oh, you make multiple videos a day and thereby blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, what is in the video, though, that I said? Because there has to be a substance and an element regarding that. And then they start giving excuses like, oh, did you delete my comment or my reply or something? No, I didn't delete your reply. If I deleted your reply or blocked you, I will tell you, everybody on the channel, you know that. I actually do publish, in many cases, the fact that I block some people. So, no, you've not been blocked, this user. I'm waiting for your reply. Because this is the strategy I've seen that these people use to either, in a sense, gaslight or at least try to discredit the reality of what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't be bothered if Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo existed at this particular moment. You know that, right? I could not, it wouldn't affect me any single bit. However, the consumer and the customer needs to be in the know of how the market is going to go. In fact, when 2020 turned around and Xbox took the pro-consumer stance, it was important that consumers knew. Because when you go look at like this PlayStation, thread on the subreddit in the PlayStation Plus, there are at least 3 comments that we've read in the past few videos where people are saying, if I had to do it again, I would not have bought a PlayStation. Christopher Dring today came out with a retraction of some sort that did not address the thing that was claimed that he addressed, in order for him to basically clarify something that we have no idea where he's even getting it from. Neither did he even state that, oh, I'm trying to protect my sources in any given way. I'll show you this whole thing. Bro triggered an article from WCCF Tech, who wrote and said, Xbox multi-platform strategy is leaving some publishers and developers baffled, with some no longer seeing the need to develop Xbox versions of their games. Now, if any of you remember, just a few days ago, actually no, yesterday, I just made a video that showed you guys, apparently Iron Games, the people who made Shenmue, came out on Twitter publicly with a post asking and saying, all right, Xbox fans, this is not a promise in a sense. However, are any of y'all looking for, or is there any game you want us to go ahead and port first? I mean, literally, there was an article written about it here on Pure Xbox where a publisher is asking Xbox gamers and saying, hey, man, give us some clues. Which of our games should we port first? The gamers are like, I read the tweets to y'all, right? Yet this man is triggering articles that are saying that some publishers and developers. So we ask, okay, well, and they put their name on it. They're about the life. They went on Twitter and they actually posted it and said, hey, man, we're asking y'all, what games should we bring to your platform? No promises, but let us know. They even addressed people who were saying all and said, just give us a tier list. First, second, or third. All right, Chris, give us the list of people who are saying these things. At least let's know. Nothing. In fact, he even comes out to say, that in some sense, he was addressing what publishers may be muffling in public. So let's listen to what he actually said. Because WCCF Tech, they actually timestamped this sucker, which was kind of interesting.
From that's, certain publishers and developers have spoken to me like baffled by this, because from their point of view, they want the competition in the console space. They're going, why should we even bother making an Xbox game if this is the strategy? That's a balance that Microsoft's going to have to strike. And, they need the Xbox as a Game Pass machine. And this is what you say, we talk about the $80.
So, casually makes a statement saying that some developers and publishers that have spoken to him are baffled because they want competition in the console space. Okay? When he gets, called out by numerous people, Game Over 30, shout out to you, right? He comes out and he says, apparently a line in my podcast has been picked up. It's around some publishers being baffled by Xbox's strategy of putting games on PS5 and questioning why they'd support Xbox if they're not going to grow the console. Number one, who told you Xbox is not growing the console? Where'd you guys get that from? Where did you guys get that from? Is that based on the notion that your games have to be exclusive for the console to grow? If that's the case, why is PlayStation putting its games on PC? Why did that not stop PlayStation from doing so? Also, if we go all the way back to 2016, right? Before Xbox even went multi-platform, what happened to their consoles in terms of growth? Nobody wanted to buy it because they launched on the wrong foot. So PlayStation following Xbox and putting their games on PC with a higher cadence and still growing in their consoles is based on what? A predicated platform, or a predicated, I guess I will put it this way, a predicated scenario in a situation where they've engaged in blocking games from going to Xbox for a long time and haven't put Xbox in a weird position, basically, according to what Phil Spencer has said, to harm them. You never cited that there was a precedence for all of this. These publishers never really wondered to say, oh, why is PlayStation blocking games from Xbox? That they want to see some competition. They never said that. They all opened their hands to take bags of money to block games from going one way or the other, whether it be from Xbox to PlayStation or from PlayStation to Xbox. They are all conniving little suckers. Number one, he said, Xbox's third-party support is stronger than ever. You can see that through Game Pass deals, which, Mr. Dring, remember last year you said something about Game Pass. I'm not going to bring it up in this video, but let's keep going. Relationships with Square. What relationships? Those conniving little twats. Sega, etc. There's no evidence of all of people walking away from Xbox. Quite the opposite. Then who are these developers? Then you said this part of the podcast was really to point out the transitional challenge Xbox has in keeping publishers happy. Which publishers told you that they were unhappy with the Xbox console while pushing their multi-platform strategy? I don't believe for a second we're going to see many companies, if any, move away from Xbox. Then why are they? What's baffling them? Despite what a few might be grumbling in private, the whole industry strategy is multi-platform. So why are they grumbling about a strategy that they are implementing that's working for them that Xbox wants to implement? Mr. Dring, there are all kinds of contradictions that I'm seeing from these phantom publishers and developers that you should have probably pointed out to them when they told you in your secret place or grumbled to you in the secret place that you guys meet. It's so weird, isn't it? Then number 3, he says, ultimately, I believe Xbox's strategy is great. It's just there's a transitional challenge they need to manage, which is the baffling of the publishers. The publishers are looking at 30 million consoles and saying, well, we're kind of baffled that we're not. What are you baffled about? Mr. Dring, let me ask you a question. You have a new, I know you may never see or hear this question. You have a new publication that you've just started, right? Backed by Jeff Keighley, right? Would you ever question a potential reader base of 30 million visitors to your website? Under any circumstances of any sort, would you ever question such traffic under any means as a sound business strategy? If so, what would make it happen that, because, for some strange reason, maybe say where that traffic is coming from doesn't necessarily gatekeep in some kind of way? Why do business people who engage in business that requires customers and a ubiquitous nature of consumers across the board want gatekeeping for the consoles and the console platforms and the publishers? Why? Why do they want that? I'm just surprised. Because, Mr. Dring, you're not going to sit there and tell a potential subscriber or viewer or patron, right, that they cannot engage you. In fact, you have multiple means of being able to benefit from all of them. One is your YouTube channel. Another one is probably your publication when you have ads, or maybe when they subscribe to the publication for updates and stuff. Why are y'all wanting to make money off of constantly barraging Microsoft for doing what you are doing in business? It is absolutely the biggest and strangest, in my opinion anyways, the strangest shock for me that every single one of these people are doing that. The talking heads on Twitter, on YouTube, on their podcasts, anywhere they are. They all are welcoming to everybody who is going to come all and sundry to their platform. None of them have built gate-walled platform. Even when they, I say gate-walled, gated platform or walled gardens. Even when they build up some kind of a walled garden, they go ahead and still provide the content for free. What's the name? Stolen Signals or whatever Colin Moriarty does. He will put the stuff up for his Patreon for a while, then he'll put it out publicly. Why did he not lock it down? Why is he all about exclusives? Destin used to be about it. Then he'll put it up for his members on YouTube. Then finally he'll open it up. This is what the business and the market is doing. Xbox does the same thing. All these people fall flat and just run away and say, oh my gosh, their hair's on fire. Why are y'all launching the whole thing then to everybody else if it's going to devalue the brand? See, we're going to enter the business conversation of this stuff. And honestly, none of you are going to survive the intellectual ramifications of what it is that you all continue to perpetuate in this whole console conversation. Not a single one of you. Not a single one of you. Every single one of you is found wanting because you're literally doing the thing that you castigate Microsoft for doing, or at least in some way try to cast doubt on Microsoft for doing. This is how we know that there either is some kind of an agenda somewhere, or perhaps this is an engagement farming, tactic, or an engagement farming, effort. I think this might be what it is. I didn't even want to address this whole thing today. It was interesting because he then came out and started to, I don't know if it was backpedaling. I don't know what it is, but it just was so strange. And he never addressed where he got these grumblings from. Did y'all see the sleight of hand? Did y'all see the sleight of hand? He was quick to point out developers who will stay with Xbox and who are coming back to Xbox, according to him, Square, Sega, etc. But there's no etc on those who are baffled by the strategy. Even when Sarah Bond said that they now have about 1,000 partners that are ready to go with them. Even when those partners are aware and seeing that they have a multi-plat strategy. Even when those partners are aware that Game Pass, yes, the traditional sales model may not necessarily look like other games, but they get a bag. They stay sustainable. They can support themselves. They can support the games. They can support their fans if they ever grow. Even when they're seeing it, they are still lining up for Game Pass deals and benefiting from it. A very interesting set of events. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.